Okay, here's the entrance to the Summer Palace.
You want to take a picture?
Yep, doing motion video. So I'll just do some snippets from time to time through here.
Lions, always in front of the gate, and then this symbolizes prosperity of the government, because this is female.
Gotcha.
You know that in traditional China. Yeah.
And then that's the male lion over there. And of course the baby that she has in her claws. Oh gosh, that makes sense.
And actually, the whole Summer Palace was given it's called the Summer Palace in the middle of same Chinese character. Can you make a guess then what is the character?
Well, not longevity, but...
Yeah, longevity. Yes, it's longevity.
Okay, good.
So you can say that how complicated Chinese calligraphy. Remember that table?
I do.
I said
when you're trying to teach me how to do something.
Simplify the Chinese, and then there are all some scholars.
This is one of the narrow ways to come from the East Gate. In this building, which is still under restoration. And then you come through this narrow entrance, and then suddenly you see this entire panorama open up to you with the man-made lake, which is again one of the central features of the whole garden. And you can see the boats. Now you have power boats and boats for rent, and then you can see across the lake to the bridge on the other side, and the mountains in the background, and again all of the symmetry, all of the beauty, and of course the palace up there on the hill. You just get a little bit of a shot, and again the bridge on the other side, and then you can see another palace in symmetry over here. Again, the cypress, the ever-present cypress trees. Again, the whole theme is longevity. Basically because, as Professor Lu's been saying, a lot of this is to mark the 70th birthday of the Empress Dowager in the 19th century, who was the effective power at that point in the empire, and to express her longevity, her personal longevity and control. Anyway, very beautiful. Okay, we're at the end of the long corridor, so we actually did walk extra, and that is the marble boat. And I'll have a story about that in a minute, the new and the old. We just saw the statue of Buddha, but there was no photographs there. And again, the mountains and the pagoda off in the distance. We're going to start repeating our steps. This may be my last picture. So this is the only original building left, because it was made of stone and it didn't burn in the early 1800s, or it wasn't destroyed during the Anglo-French-German invasion as well. Still in the Summer Gardens, but a different spot. So this is a recreation of this area around Suzhou, Hongqiao. And I'll cross the bridge so you can see the other side. And again, there are places like this still in China, and down in that area, in the southeast coast area. And very colorful. Nicely framed, the mountains in the background. And then the boats. So the original rocks. And again, just so much color.
Empress time.
Interior courtyard here, as we still head up.
Emperor. It's the very emperor I told you were put into house arrest.
Gotcha.
Started the top-down revolution.
Or tried to, at least. To be able to feeling for the panorama and the doors we just went through. And again, this is all 19th century. You just look at the color. And there it is. We'll head up there. Okay, now we're up high. You can see the royal colored roof. And then look over here to modern Beijing. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time. I can't see really what I'm doing. All I can see is my own face in the reflection. But again, here's the new and the older 19th century recreation and improvement.
All these taken from the four classic Chinese, classics of Chinese.
Wow. So this corridor extends almost a kilometer, so 6/10 of a mile. And the entire thing is, the ceiling is painted, the sides are painted. And you can see the garden kind of.
There are some characters,
Right.
on the both sides. Some that they're taking a scene out of the historical, either from the historical stories or the real historical scene that, or.
And then mythical stories as well as historical. And the bridge here. And we'll continue for our kilometer. And finally, the other thing you can notice from this particular scene is how very, very clear it is. Had a strong windstorm go through last night, blew all the pollution from yesterday away. So it's like Professor Dean Liu was saying, this is one of the clearest days she's seen in a very long time. So yes, maybe the weather god did win out one more time. So once again, you can see the feng shui of the location. The building behind the beautiful building right there is actually the only original building remaining before the 19th century, because everything was built of wood and burned down. So everything was actually constructed or reconstructed in the 19th century by the Empress Dowager. But one of the things you notice is how the hill, which is man-made, the lake is man-made. So the earth that came from the lake was used to create the man-made hill behind. But see how it flows into the mountain, how those different layers flow into each other to create a natural whole. Okay, sorry about the sun. But again, this is the gate to the pagoda. We've been seeing the entire time up the hill. And look at the ceiling. Amazing. So we're going to go through the gate. We're going to head up and up. One of the things Professor Liu is pointing out as well is that what we have all over the summer gardens are representations from different styles from different parts of China. So that what you can see for some of the buildings is actually sort of a representation of all of China in some respects. And again, now we're up to this bridge, which is the bridge of 17 arches. Again, you have 8 plus 8 plus 1, so you have 9 from either side. 9 is the number of the Emperor of Power. But evidently it's also called the Marco Polo Bridge, even though it predates Marco Polo. And I'll show you a few other places on the other part of the lake. Moon Gate. And then a long corridor to the place we've been seeing.
This is the biggest piece of rock here, and the other biggest rock is in the Forbidden City. I will remember to tell you.
Wonderful. And you can see the bonsai tree in the greenhouse. There's one on the other side as well. And again, one of the inner courtyards. You can see all these different pavilions as well. And Professor Liu, who's been helping me. Now we're on the bridge. You can see some detail of the lions on the bridge. And again, you can see the lions are going to grace the bridge all the way across. And you can see other buildings. You can see what almost looks like a lock all the way across. Again, bridges. And again, a whole different architectural style across this part of the lake as well. Enormous, of course.